Hey guys, so one of the applications I want to talk about today is called LastPass, and the name comes from the last password you'll ever have to remember. This is basically a security application and it's just one of my favorite applications. I use this all the time on a day-to-day basis and I use it on my mobile device. I also use it on the computer, on my laptop. I use it all the time and I'll tell you in a moment why. It's just really a great tool to manage all of your passwords, to keep track of all the sites that you visit and automatically be able to log into those sites. It's also a really good application to manage your security because it'll allow you to create safe and secure passwords. And by safe and secure passwords, I mean long passwords and passwords that have not just, letters and numbers, but special characters and capital letters. And like I said, you can generate in LastPass and you can define within LastPass how many characters you want a password to be. So I've even generated passwords within LastPass about 100 characters. The other really cool thing about LastPass, like I mentioned before, is that you can use it in all of your devices and it synchronizes the information between them. So they're always in sync and they're always easy to access, easy to use, and it's just very user-friendly and very intuitive. I have tried other password manager applications, but LastPass is by far my favorite one. And another great thing which makes it stand out from the crowd is that it has very, very powerful functionality in its free version. I actually even have a premium subscription with them and it's just really cheap. You pay $12 a year. And the reason I actually got into that subscription in the beginning was because at that time they didn't have the option of having the free version across all of your devices. So basically they gave you the free option or the free version if you were using it in a laptop or in a desktop or in a mobile, but you couldn't use it across everything without paying for the premium version. And because I started using this product and I just loved it and started using it so much, I decided to upgrade to the paid version. But like I said before, it was just something really cheap. I only paid $12 for that. The good news for you guys is that that's no longer the case with LastPass. Now you can actually access all of your passwords across multiple devices and you don't have to pay anything for it. So I don't actually plan to renew my premium subscription because at the moment I don't really see the need for it. I think the main reason why I actually opted into that premium subscription and paid that yearly $12 was because I actually wanted to have access to LastPass across everything because I just started to use it all the time. And let's just scroll here a little bit so you see. Here's where I was saying to you, now you can use it on all your devices for free. That wasn't the case a few years ago, and it's now it's something they released recently, and now you can use it across all of your devices, which is just awesome. And if we scroll down, you can find a little bit more information about LastPass, like unlimited password storage. So you can put there all your passwords. It doesn't matter if you have 100, 1,000, a million, you can put them there. They're not going to charge you more for it. Keep simple digital records. So for example, you can add notes within LastPass and they're secure notes, they're encrypted, they're protected. And there's a lot of other great features about LastPass. Like for example, it can help you generate passwords. It will remember your password and your login. There's other great functionality. Like for example, they can run a test on your current passwords and check which are the weak ones. And then you can get LastPass to update all of those passwords into secure passwords. And in a way, it's also kind of like a bookmarking service because while you're saving your passwords and your login credentials, it's just also saving the URL. So I like I said, I use this all the time. I use this on a day-to-day basis on my mobile and on my desktop and on my browser. And I'll show you in a moment that I love the browser application. It's really good. And it's also really easy to install and just log in into into that extension and start using it. I'll show you that in a moment. But before we go into all of that and before I actually show you how it looks like on the inside and how to create your account and everything else, let's just look at a little short video about LastPass so you guys get a feel for it as well. So I'm just going to go here on YouTube. And I already went through a lot of their videos and I picked this one in particular because I thought it was one of the best ones and it's short and sweet. So here you go, guys.
Once you add the LastPass extension to your browser, you'll see the LastPass icon in your browser toolbar. Click the icon to access your vault, launch or edit sites, fill forms, and generate passwords. When you're on a website, you'll also notice the LastPass icon in any field. When you click it, this in-field icon autofills your saved passwords for you. Or if you're creating a new account, the in-field icon helps you quickly fill your information and generate a secure password. Then LastPass will save that site to your vault automatically.
Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and like I said, you can find this in YouTube and you can find a lot of more videos from LastPass. If you go and search for LastPass, just look for the official LastPass account and you'll be able to know which one it is just by looking at the one that has this tick of verified. That means that's the official LastPass account, because you'll see a lot of other videos like the one I'm making right now from different people about LastPass, because it's just so popular. It's just such a good application and they have millions of users worldwide. And I definitely recommend it, especially because a lot of people don't understand nowadays the importance of security with their passwords. And as we become increasingly more and more tied to technology and more digital, our information needs to be kept safe. It needs to be kept secure. And a lot of people, they rely on our limited human capability of remembering passwords. So they might choose, a 6-digit password or an 8-digit password, which is really unsecure. They might also be doing things like using common words and mixing words. They might be using information from, their personal information for their passwords, or their family information, or the name of their daughter, or the address where they live, or a combination of numbers between, for example, their birth date or a special date. And hackers nowadays, they have automated scripts which can easily exploit this information. And a lot of people, they put a lot of their information as well on sites like Facebook, and they make it publicly available, and then it's just there sitting for open for hackers or for someone to maliciously use that information. And that's why I recommend that you always keep your information very private, very safe, very secure, your personal information. And I also recommend that you use an application like LastPass, because you can then define how long you want your password to be, and you can also define what you want to use as a password. So for example, you want to combine characters, special characters, letters, words, capital letters, and that just makes a password even more secure. And because it's a random number, it's really hard, almost impossible for like a hacker or an automated system to detect that, because they've had to go through like millions and millions of combinations to be able to crack that. And that's why people love LastPass, because it's just so secure. And it is way more secure than you relying on, like I said before, your limited capability of creating a secure password. And I say secure because you'll probably be using something that's not too long, something that's not combining, letters, special characters, capital letters, and numbers. So that's why I recommend it. And I'm going to go back to the website and just continue scrolling here to show you a little bit more information about them. So fortify your passwords. They also have, some mobile applications, additional mobile applications apart from the official LastPass, like this one, for example, that they're showing here on screen, which is the two-factor authentication application. So it's just an extra thing that you can do to secure your accounts. You've probably seen this in some of, your banks, for example. They might ask you to type your password and then ask you to confirm an SMS code that they'll send to your mobile device. So LastPass already generated a two-factor authentication application, which you can also use, and it's also free. It's also really good. I recommend it. And let's just go here so you can see the difference between the free and the premium plan. Like I said, even if you went for the premium one, it is pretty cheap. It's just $1 a month. If you look at the information in the free one, in my case, that's pretty much all I need. I don't need anything besides that. And the functionality that they're offering for the premium one is just something that I don't really personally need. But if you feel that it's for you, well, please go ahead and make that purchase. So I do gotta say that, originally when I first heard about password manager and a password management system, I was a little bit reluctant and hesitant to use it because I wasn't really comfortable confiding all of my passwords to a company or to a system. And then I did a lot of research, and I read a lot about LastPass and its pros, its cons, issues they had in the past, and how they had troubleshoot them and how they had resolved them. And I read a lot of information, but the recommendation to use LastPass actually came from a developer, a friend of mine, who had been using it for years. And I showed him an Excel sheet. I had this Excel sheet which I had protected with a password, and I had that encrypted. It was really funny, I had that encrypted, and I tried to make it like really secure, so it was like encrypted, and I had it in with a long password and everything. And in that Excel sheet was where I was storing my passwords at the time. And this developer friend of mine, he was really surprised that I was using my Excel file to actually manage and save my passwords. And when he started talking to me about LastPass, well, he said to me, "Why are you still doing this in Excel? There's a much better way for you to do this, and you shouldn't be using the same password," which is another very common mistake, is that people use one password across everything, and they use the same password across all their applications and all their accounts. That's also really unsecure, by the way. You should never do that. You should have a particular separate individual password for all your accounts. And like I said, you're not going to remember so many different passwords, especially if you're using a lot of applications like me, for example. So you want to go with something like LastPass that will streamline and simplify that process and make it easier for you. And going back to the story, so he explained to me how he had been using LastPass for many years and had never had any issues. And I decided to give it a go. I looked at some videos and I looked at some information online, and I thought I'll give it a go. I've been using LastPass for years, and I've never had any issues with them. I loved it, and I still love it. And let's just go here and let's go to login. I don't have an account, so I'm gonna go and create an account. And I just wanna show you how easy it is to set up an account and what it looks like when you actually start using it. So let's go here to create an account. And I'm gonna put here my email address. And a reminder, I'm just gonna put here as a reminder, it's optional, I'm not gonna put anything. And I'm gonna put here, I agree to their terms, continue. They just wanna check that I actually remember my password. All right, that's it. So the account has been created. I probably got an email from them confirming that. Yep, here you go. Welcome to LastPass. And this is the email that you'll get from them. And just some more information there that I'll let you read that later when you create your own LastPass account, but I just wanted to show you the process. And now that we've done that, there's multiple ways you can use LastPass now that you've actually created an account. One of them, and one of the recommended ways that I'd recommend, is just download the mobile application, whether you have an iPhone in the App Store or an Android device in the Google Play Store. Download the LastPass application so you can access it on your mobile. If you're on a browser or on a just desktop or a laptop, you can also go to lastpass.com, go to their login, enter your credentials, and then access your vault, what it's called the vault, which is where you store your passwords in LastPass. So let's just go in right now. And as you can see here, it looks pretty empty right now because I haven't added any sites yet, but we can do that in a moment. I'll show you how it looks, or you can do it manually. So for example, you go here, add site, and you can go click there. And you can just enter the URL. So let's say, for example, Evernote. Yep, evernote.com. They automatically populate that for you. It's a productivity tool. And your username, it's gonna be my email. So I'm going to put here online demod@gmail.com. I'm going to put here a password. All right. And I'm going to put here save. And now it's created here my Evernote password storage here in LastPass. And like I said, it's a really easy thing to use. You kind of learn as you go. I'm not particularly fond of their LastPass.com, how this interface looks. I don't think it's a great interface, but that's just how it is. But if you went here, you can check your account settings and you can change stuff over here. You can change your password. Well, all the things you'd normally do in an account, the account settings of any site. But if you went over here, you also have the option of generate secure password. So you can go here. And this is what I was talking about before. So you see here how it generated this random password, and it's just 12 characters, but I can change that. And if I click here on advanced options, I can say to it, LastPass, please generate a secure password with uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and special characters. And I want that to be, 30 characters long. That's pretty long, but let's try that. All right. So there you go. Do you think you could actually remember this? If you actually were trying to generate a 30-character password, I'm sure you wouldn't be able to remember this. It's just too difficult for the human brain to remember this unless you have, that's this special memory, right? But most people would not be able to remember that, and that's fine. That's why we have these systems, and that's why we have technology, and that's precisely what this course is about. This course is about how we can leverage on the great things about technology and all the different tools that are out there, and especially tools like LastPass, which is free. And if we want to get their extension in the browser, you just go to your browser, settings, and then here under extensions, and I'm showing this in Google Chrome. That's because I love Chrome. That's what I use all the time. And well, it's like 60-70% of the users worldwide use Google Chrome. It's the biggest browser out there. So most of you watching this are probably using Chrome as well. That's why I'm showing you everything here on Chrome. So if you go here on Get More Extensions and you search for LastPass, oh, actually it's right here, but you could still search for it. So if you go here, LastPass, yep, and LastPass Free Password Manager, offered by LastPass.com. Exactly, that's where we want to go. We're going to get the official thing, and we go here to Add to Chrome. And you see how over here I don't have anything at the moment. It's going to create there a little icon. Wait a second. Add to Chrome. This is the icon that you're going to see. And yes, add extension. And it just added the extension a second ago. So here is the extension. Do you see that really there? And it's grayed out because I haven't logged in. But if I wanted to log in, I could just go here and enter. I could say, remember my email, so I don't have to start typing my email every time. You could also get it to remember your password. I recommend you leave this off just in case, you're at your desk or at home and you forget to, and you leave, your computer there without having it locked or secured. So it's better for it not to remember passwords in case someone else is using your computer or they have access to your computer. So if we just log in, and go to login. All right, so now it turned red. So it means it's active. And I really like the browser extension, by the way. I think it's way better than going to LastPass.com, here to the vault and using this ugly interface. And it's not really very user friendly. These icons here sometimes are a bit confusing. You don't really know sometimes where you need to go to. But if you go here to the extension, which I love, it's very simple. It's right there, like I want to generate a secure password. It's faster. It's just one click over here. I had to click like 3 times to get there. But here it's just one click, generate password. and recently used, secure notes, what we talked about before, my vault, which is what you have here on screen, and it'll show you all the different passwords that you have. And over time, this will start populating more and more. Okay, so if we went to, for example, I don't know, let's go to Yahoo, for example. And if I was going to create an account, for example, in Yahoo, sign up. And do you notice here where it says password, this little icon? That's the LastPass icon. And if I click there, generate and fill. So you get this option here and more options, and then you can choose here how long you wanna set your password. Like I said before, what you want it composed of, easy to read, easy to say if you do want that. I never use these things, by the way. I generally use just the length, and I tick everything so it's more secure. And I generally put it, 30, or 40. Sometimes I do passwords of 18 characters, 20 characters. It's really up to you, and you can just put fill. It'll automatically fill it for you, and then when you sign in, it will automatically save it and store it for you. So I'm gonna go back to LastPass here at the vault, and I'm gonna sign out. And we're just here back to the beginning. And I just wanted to go back here to say, this is definitely a really good tool. I recommend that you use it, and it will help you manage your online presence, your different accounts, your different passwords, and it'll make your life a lot easier and more secure. So give it a go, try it yourselves, and let me know how it goes. I'm sure you'll love it. I've been using it for a long time, and I still use it every day.